keep singing, keep smiling, pass it on. Well, I'm just grateful that I have been able to impart some good stuff that I was indoctrinated in. You know, we all have mentors. It's like a pass it on thing. My elementary music teachers, my high school choral director, and my band director really had an impression on me. And I just did what we do as teachers. But I was grateful for a good background that I could bring that to Seminole High School in the form of choral music that my experience, and I was fortunate in that respect, you know, to have done that. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Poor man Lazarus, sick and disabled, dip your finger in the water, gun, cool my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in a flame. I love to shout, I love to sing. Seminole had never been to contest, never been to, and they asked us to call it festival, not contest, but it was competition with the other schools.
Sure, of course.
And the first, and of course I had been in my teaching before that, and of course in high school. Here again, that was what I had experienced. I had been to contests. So I wanted to take the students, I wanted to take the kids. May I still call them kids?
I think all of us would be honored. I'd be excited if I got carded once in a while.
You're always our kids. But that first contest we went to, we got clobbered in sight reading. I mean, and we made 2s or 3s. I think it was 2s. I believe that's the lowest we've ever made. But we got a set of hymnals from a church. Started sight reading, and we brought it up, and I'm grateful to the students, and I'm grateful, period, because from then on I think we made superior at every district contest. They have a district and a state contest, you know, and now state was a little bit different. We made some 2s at state, but we made some 1s too.
It's just fun to watch him, and it's fun to watch the groups as they get better and they learn more and go to contests and make superiors. That's fun. It just because he cared so much about what he did, and he cared so much about teaching what he knew and passing it on to the students, and he loved all of you, but he wanted to get as much out of you as he could, you know, and that was his goal, and I think he accomplished that.
A beautiful city, calling out and calling the city. If you need a friend, call me. Why don't you call me? Just call me. If you just call me. If you just call me. If you just call me.
I think so. I think it gave him a very good work ethic. It was so much fun to watch when y'all were practicing, because different ones would go into different practice rooms. And that was a lot of fun. But then when the whole group came together, they saw the discipline, but they saw the outcome of it. You know, what the hard work ethic that he has, and that it pays off.
I think the students really had a yearning for doing the so-called classical music. The beauty of it, I tried to express and to show, and I think they kind of fell into that, but they did it because they wanted to. It's a little bit different now. And a lot of the young people now, they sometimes, because of all the music that they hear on TV and on the MP3s and all that, they don't want to do the so-called classical music. I've heard that from teachers. But then it seemed that they were ready for Palestrina, for Vivaldi, and yet we did the pop also. That was fun. You know, it was great, and it was fun to harmonize. We had students that came back after school, and that's, the human voice is God-given. It's, you know, that's a simple statement, but it's true, and we can express that in so many ways, and we did. Popular music, and I was grateful because they latched on to the classical also.
Keep an eye on us.
Okay, first of all, well, I think we're going to have plenty of time to express our feelings, you know, and we've done some of that already, but I just want to say I can't tell you how much this means to me and to my whole family. We never, ever thought that we would be doing this. And I never thought that some of you I would ever talk to you again and see you and hear about you and your families, and it's really great. Is that okay?
Can you tell me why it is that you, out of all the teachers at Seminole High School, seem to go through a record number of yardsticks each year?
Well, I guess you could kind of wrap that up in just a real quick sentence, like you got their attention. It helped tremendously in the number of years that I was in choral music, art director at Seminole High School. Now, you know, this really, a lot of times it really came in handy because I would take this thing, you know, teenagers have a way of sometimes talking all at one time. And it's kind of hard sometimes when that happens, you need to get control. And the way I did it was take one of these right here, and I would just hit like that. And you know, most of the time I got instantaneous response. Everybody would get real quiet. In fact, a lot of times before I got it down on the solid stuff there to make a noise, some people would stop talking then. But it worked so well. Now, I never hit a student with this. Never wanted really, well, I won't say that. I won't say I didn't want to. But I really didn't want to. But I never hit a student with it. But I did have an occasion, maybe once or twice, when the blow there with the stick would splinter. So I was very careful that, you know, that I didn't hit somebody and do some damage. But this is the famous yardstick that I guess Mr. Vines is known for using. In all goodness of his heart, he did not want to hurt his students, but he did want to get their attention. And it worked.
Okay, I'm Diane Salmon Leica, and I graduated in the class of 1981. I was in Seminole Celebration, Concert Choir, and Seminole Singers, and a trio called Jazz, Rhythm, and Blues.
I'm Vicki Gersha, Caruana, class of 81, and I was in Concert Choir and Seminole Singers.
And I'm Susan Graff Robeson, that's hard to do, class of 81, and I was in Seminole Celebration and Concert Choir and Seminole Singers, and I was also in the trio called Jazz Rhythm and Blues.
The maiden name is Graff. I'm Sandy Graff Young, class of 1976. And I was in the first Seminole Celebration, formed in 1974. That was us. Seminole Celebration and Concert Choir and Seminole Singers, and I was also in a trio called Harmony.
My name is Sean Rowland. I graduated in 1982.
All right. My name's Tracy Blanton, class of 78. Now Tracy Blanton Wilson.
Darrell Wilson, class of 79.
Mark John O'Connell. I graduated in 1983.
I don't have one particular memory, but I think what choir did for me was give me a sense of self-esteem and a sense of belonging. And I think that the friendships that I made then, that are still carried through to today, have added so much meaning to my life. And that's more than just a fond memory.
One time got to perform a really neat piece by Al Jarreau at a show that I really enjoyed.
Meeting this guy. You better say the same thing.
Oh, I thought you were answering for both of us.
Okay, good.
I just took it for granted.
I don't know, I mean, I was thinking about it all week leading up to this, you know, and there are so many fun things that happen, a lot of good memories. I liked when we went to state contest. I loved what it took for us to prepare to do that. But I moved here in 9th grade and knew no one. And they all went to school together leading up to that. But they welcomed me anyway. And so I got to feel a part of something coming from New York and not knowing one person. Because we moved here a week before school started, so there was no chance to get to know anyone. But right away, if I were in chorus, if I were in choir, suddenly I had a family. Yay! So I think that's what it meant to me.
That's very.
That would have been a time that we went to Disney World. We got to perform on stage at Disney.
I do about the whole thing in general. I learned so much, and music is a huge part of my life. And it's just all a great big happy memory of my high school years. And I feel so blessed to have had that in my life. From the good times of bus trips to who knows where, and having sewing parties where we made our dresses to wear, and just all the slumber parties and get-togethers we had, but also all the music and what I learned. So I would say that having that core group in my life really helped me in high school. They can be very, you're bombarded with a lot, but I had that center in my life, and just a core group of friends that we've remained friends, and even though we don't see each other for a while, we get together and it's like we just saw each other yesterday, and it's a tremendous blessing.
You met her husband.
I met my husband. He was my partner in Seminole Singers. He was a year ahead of me, Alan Robeson. And some of my favorite memories are bus drives to Miami. That was a really fun trip. That was a really fun trip.
Crazy trip.
Oh my gosh. I remember the water guns on the bus, and like the bus floor being just water all over the bus.
Getting up like a
The
terrier.
poor bus drivers were very tolerant and kind.
We did sing a lot on those.
And yeah, we did that too. And I remember, I always enjoyed the work that we did to get ready to perform at contests, or even in Seminole Singers to be able to go out and perform in the community. That was always a lot of fun, and it was really neat to do it with some of your best friends too.
Yeah.
There was a time, I think it was in concert choir, but I used to do the Rubik's Cube a lot, and Jimmy got very upset and slapped his ruler and smashed the ruler and obviously grabbed the Rubik's Cube. It wasn't really embarrassing for me, but everyone thought that he was taking my Rubik's Cube from me, and it was his daughter's.
Yeah, during state competition on my senior year, jumped up into the bus to pull down the sound equipment and split my pants right down the back. They'll remember that. I try to forget it, but it just keeps bringing itself back up.
I would say just the whole learning process. I use it so much in my life now, directing at church and playing music and singing as well. And so it's not really, that's totally not the embarrassing part, but just that it's gone on in my life and really been a big boon. And I owe a lot to the directors that we had, Mrs. Igny and to Mr. Vines, because I learned a lot from them, and it has carried on to my life.
Funny and embarrassing moments. I don't remember. Oh, actually, the recording that we have, we're singing the Beach Boys, and the audience is way off on our beat. That was hard to sing through, and I still remember that.
One of the great gifts, as I've mentioned already, is to be able to sing, to use the voice. What a great way of communication. All moods, happy, sad, frustrated, everything, And the fact that we can do that, you can see in your audience, you can see the smiles, you can see the expression. We worked hard in the classroom. I mean, really hard. But when we got out, it was like, hey, we're enjoying this, and they are too.
Love your fellow man. Put your hands together like this here. Think of your fellow man. Give him a helping hand. But a little love in your heart. Sing it with me. You want the world to know. You want that hate to know.
it makes me feel great. I'm so grateful that I could have a part in that. And again, I just did what we as teachers do, you know, but I'm grateful, so grateful. And what you said a while ago kind of summarizes all of that. That self-confidence, how they react in society. And you know what? We can fly the flag. We've got about 6 or 8 people that are professionals and have made CDs. You're one of them. You know?
Well, yeah, it was a long time ago.
And but I've seen what you said a while ago about self-esteem, and it's great that it's carried over. I've seen shy people that you never would think would have the lead in Oklahoma. And they've come across.
This is my Seminole Celebration. I was in Seminole Celebration for 78, 79. Yes, that's correct. And we had blue, yellow, white, and green. So this is the concert choir dress I wore for all 3 years that I was in concert choir, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And yeah. This one is nice because it looked good on everybody. This one is my Seminole Singers dress for my first year of Seminole Singers. I was a little smaller then. And it had a little wrapped if you want it to be demure. And then this was my Seminole Singer dress for my senior year. Same exact pattern, but just in blue. So
we were in the original group that formed Seminole Celebration, and we all had hats, and we had flowers that we made that matched the color dress we wore. So I obviously wore purple, and we had blue and peach and a pink and a green. So there were 10 of us, and that's the original hat that we had. Oh, and there's streamers. We all had streamers. Oh, this is singers graduating year 75 and 76. This was our singers dress that we had then. So, all penny rhinestones. Yeah.
Thank you for getting us all together for this. I appreciate all that you've done, taking us places that you did on your times off, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
You know, we wouldn't have been here together with everybody if it wasn't for that connection that we have to Mr. Vines, and it is such a joy to meet with people that have some of the same memories and some of the same experiences and the same passions that you do.
Right.
So just having him as the hub of that wheel is pretty amazing, and we just appreciate all that he's done for us in our lives, really, because our love of music has
It's always centered around everything we do.
It is.
Very good.
Absolutely. The Vines, especially Mr. Vines, because obviously we knew him a lot more, but so instrumental in influencing me to continue music, my love of music, wanting to learn more about music, and I've carried on the tradition, and both my daughters are into music, so it's been a legacy for our family.
No, just thanks for all the years of dedication and working with us. So, you know, there's been a lot of fond memories. I have 4 siblings, and 3 of which were in the choir, 2 of which, you know, were in Seminole Singers as well. So.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I came into chorus, I was a soprano. At least that's what I thought I was. And I found out by the end of the first year, he took me aside and told me he was going to challenge me and train me down to be an alto, because that really was my range. And I honestly thought I was a soprano because that's what everybody should be, and that's like the best part. And we had, in the summer, we had, he did voice lessons as part of summer school, and I signed up for that. And he worked with me all summer. And then by the time I went to the next grade, I was a full-fledged alto and finally comfortable with my voice. I felt the confidence just went way up because I was operating within my range for the first times. But he did that for me, and working with him in the summer every day, that built a relationship I don't think I would have had otherwise, you know. So that was extra time, and I appreciated that.
I would. I just thank them for being here and for helping us to coordinate all this. It was, I loved having the affirmation of what I learned, the feel it up here and then in the diaphragm and just projecting and all the things that we learned growing up, but also learning some new things. So I really appreciated that, and I'll carry that on to my future. And anyway, I'd like to just wish them a very happy life, and I hope to see them again soon. And who knows, maybe we'll do this again.
And I just really have enjoyed helping to be part of putting this all together and getting to spend time with both of them. It's been a lot of fun. It was neat to see them about a year ago when we met at Chili's and kind of really started kicking around this idea. That was a lot of, that had been a long time since I'd seen them then. And so that was really neat. So, yeah.
We're ready. Woo! There's people gonna sing our hearts out.
Work you guys through that. Love.
give a shout out to her.
Could we please have Mrs. Vines step up, please? Mrs. Vines. Mrs. Vines.
While she's coming up, folks, I want to let's give a big hand for all of our companies. Wendy, Amelia, Debbie, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Mr. Vines and Ralph. Give her the microphone. Mr. Mills. Mr. Shelley Mills. Give her the microphone.
Maureen, where's Maureen? Oh, there
Shelley,
you go,
please
sweetie.
come down. I guess I really have to use one of these. Wow. 525,600 minutes. Times 30. Wow. With all the journeys that everybody has made to get here, as much as she'll put it off, I don't think we would be here without Shelley. Because of your dedication, your hard work, your tenacity, and your ability with Facebook, that has brought this, I am humbled by this awesome group of people. And we've all come from different paths in lives. We all separated at high school. But the one thing we all have in common is this music, the notes on a page, the people that are standing next to you, and the people that couldn't be here. That's our common ground. And that's what I'm so excited about. And Mrs. Vines, these are for you. As Mama Vines. You know, your work behind the scenes is important as anything in front of the scenes. And these picture frames will eventually put a picture in them. But everyone sign them. And we hope you appreciate it. And we have one more surprise for you. Oh no. Where are the words? Okay. We couldn't leave without singing our alma mater. Oh, you all want to join us? Please do. We can have a chord. Somebody can give us a note or a pitch or something. Anybody? Somebody?